It's a Tuesday night tilt in Toronto as the Lions look for a fourth consecutive victory. They visit the 2-2 Argonauts with the roof open in Toronto on a great night for football.
A great night for football and a great night for Zach Collaros to get his CFL career rolling. He makes his first career start tonight. He's going to have his work cut out for him facing a very tough BC Lions defense, among the best in the league versus the pass. And of course the veteran on the other side, Travis Lulay. 2007, he was the league's most outstanding player. He's led the BC Lions to a 3-1 record out of the gate.
It's a homecoming game for Mike Benavides, the Toronto native who said not getting his Lions to last year's Grey Cup game here, the biggest disappointment of his career, but he likes the progress his team has shown in the last 3 weeks. On the other sideline, Scott Milanovich called this week's prep the best by his club by a long shot this year, even without Ricky Ray, and with Zach Collaros getting #1 reps this week. 24-16, the Lions won in BC on July 4th. I'd like to say hello to all our viewers stateside watching tonight on NBCSN. We're underway with Noel Prefontaine kicking off, and here's Tim Brown with the football for the Lions across the 30. James Jurachuk slows him down as he gets to the 39. Our starters to watch, brought to you by Napa Auto Parts, where custom advice comes standard.
Travis Lulay, of course, the model of consistency at quarterback. He's got one new face in that receiving core, Ernest Jackson. Second-year player replaces Manny Arsenault. The deep threat at wide receiver. Nick Moore had his biggest game of the season, 6 catches, 107 yards in week 2 against the Argos. Andrew Harris as well, 152 yards from scrimmage in that July 4th matchup.
Travis Lulay looking for his first 300-yard game of 2013. Jackson in motion, and Lulay going to launch it deep. Wants Nick Moore. Off the fingertips, incomplete. They go right after the newcomer on the corner, Josh Gatlin.
There's been a little bit of shuffling in that Argo defense, as you mentioned, triggered by the release of Brandon Isaac, the Sam linebacker. Jamie Robinson moves from the field corner to replace him at Sam. That brings Josh Gatlin in at corner. On the defensive line, Jonathan Williams, the newcomer, leads the way with 2 sacks. Khalif Mitchell at defensive tackle faces his old team. When he is on, there are few better.
Second and 10. Over the middle, the ball is caught. Courtney Taylor has it, and he'll get dragged down by Robinson. Courtney Taylor without a catch last week in the Lions' victory.
Travis Lulay is going to get this one away with a little traffic in his face. Khalif Mitchell opts for the bull rush right off the bat. Second play from scrimmage. Keep an eye on big number 96 right in the middle. He's working against a 340-pounder in Pat Gabongo. He's got him on skates right there.
So they go after Gatlin on the first play, after Robinson on the second play. And Jacques Chapdelaine tests the new-look Argo defense. Now Harris released, pressure on, and they get to Lulay. And there's the big guy, Khalif Mitchell. His second sack of the year. Both have come against his old team. And they say he's coming off his best performance last week in Winnipeg.
Khalif Mitchell, 6'6", 315 pounds, and plays with a little bit of a mean streak. When Khalif's feeling it, he can get after it with the best of them. And you see he is an absolute handful for the Argos offensive line on this first drive.
He's into it. Loss of 7. Back at the Lion 49, 2nd and 17. Argos show blitz. Here they come. Lulay in trouble, and down he goes. Back-to-back sacks. And this time Cleon Lang cleans up.
Much credit to that Toronto Argonaut defensive line. Newcomers on the strong side of that defense got tested. Defensive line kind of changed the tone of this thing. Leon Lang gets in on that one. Jamie Robinson in there as well.
A lot of Argos in the vicinity. Back-to-back sacks. And now Chad Owens takes the punt at the 20. He'll skip out at the 25-yard line. And when we come back, it'll be Zach Collaros and the Argo offense. Number 1 pick overall in the NBA draft. Brampton native Anthony Bennett here for the coin toss. And he's standing by on the sidelines with Matt Schnitti.
Chris, I wonder, Anthony, if you're getting used to it yet. You have the number 1 on your jersey. Everyone's coming up to you and congratulating you. How does it feel to be the first Canadian chosen first overall in the NBA draft?
I mean, it's great. You know, we made history. First Canadian to ever do it. So, you know, it's a pretty big accomplishment. You know, I'm just happy that I achieved my goal.
I know you're coming off a shoulder surgery right now. You're getting ready to get back into the season. But after what Jay Triano said yesterday, where is Canadian basketball going with yourself, Kelly Olynyk, Tristan Thompson, Andrew Wiggins? Where can Canadian basketball be in the next couple of years?
Definitely. You know, a huge threat, actually. You know, we have a lot of upcoming players. We have a lot of players in the league now. You just got a lot of young talent, too. So, you know, in a couple of years, everything's going to be, you know, going to be perfect.
Thanks for this, Anthony. Really appreciate it.
No problem.
Nice to have him here. 6'7", 240. Could play defensive end, too, couldn't he?
Yeah, I think they were all sizing him up.
2nd and 6 for Zach Collaros. Over the middle, Jason Barnes has the catch. And a first down for the Argonauts with young Zach Collaros at the controls in his first Canadian Football League start.
Well, and that one will give him a little bit of confidence, threading the needle to Jason Barnes. Good read, good quick throw. Jason Barnes, nice route with the stem to the outside. He's one of the guys that's going to have to step up, Chris, in the absence of Dontrell Inman.
16 for Barnes, who had just 2 catches for 11 in the first meeting against the Lions. Here's Collaros taking off again. Second run, and he meets up with Solomon Elimimian at the 50-yard line, and he might send a message that you won't want to do that too much.
Elimimian, known as one of the fiercest hitters in the Canadian Football League. Now we know about Zach Collaros making his first career CFL start. He's not by himself in that Argo backfield as the newbies Curtis Steele replaces the injured Chad Cackert. Again, Dontrell Inman out of the lineup again this week. He's missed both BC Lions games. Argos will continue to lean on Chad Owens and Andre Dury, their top 2 receivers.
Joaquin Iglesias checks in, and he was the favorite target of Collaros when he came in late in the game against Saskatchewan. 11-play touchdown drive. Second down and a mix-up. Ball's loose, and Corey Banks is up with it. Well, a new quarterback, new running back, and confusion in the backfield leads to an early turnover.
Not a lot of reps for the backups in Toronto. These guys haven't worked together a ton, Chris.
And the veteran Corey Banks takes advantage.
Well, the biggest challenge for running back Curtis Steele isn't going to be running and catching the football. It's going to be blocking. He's late getting to his responsibility in this protection scheme, and as a result, he gets in the way of his quarterback, Zach Collaros. His left shoulder appears to pop that football out of there on his quarterback, resulting in the fumble as he tries to get over to block Corey Banks, the man who ended up recovering.
Top 2 responsibilities for Steele: protect the quarterback and ball security. Short on the first play, and now Andrew Harris with his first carry, and the ball comes loose again. But quickly on it is Kirby Fabian, the right guard, to save it for the Lions.
Argos nearly got it right back there. Andrew Harris gets it popped out. Big Kirby Fabian, the rookie, first round pick of the BC Lions in 2012, comes up with the recovery.
Both teams well rested. Long week for each team coming into this game. 2nd and 7. Brule looking for Nick Moore. He's got it. Moore down inside the 5. Working against Jalil Carter.
Again, Nick Moore was the guy who had the big game in week 2 against the Toronto Argonauts. 6 catches, 107 yards in that ball game. You see the result of good protection. Center Matt Norman worked over to help out on Khalif Mitchell on that one, and perfectly placed football from Travis Lule as Moore gets a step on Jaleel Carter.
6 catches, 107 in the game against the Argos, and they all came in the first half of that victory at BC Place. So now 1st and goal as Moore sets it up. Rolly Lambala in the backfield. Lulay will flip it to Lambala. He's not going anywhere. Robert McCune takes him down.
Great preparation and recognition there from the Toronto Argonaut defense. Lone receiver is split out to the left side. For this set, they're going to recognize Lambala's going to fake all the way across the formation. Marcus Ball's got contained responsibility, forces a hurried throw. Robert McCune there to cover the back, trying to release.
Thomas DeMarco in for that play. Lambala to the sidelines, and Lions go with their customary set. With Lulay back at the controls, 2nd and goal from the 3. Argo pressure again, Lulay to the back of the end zone, incomplete. Looking for Marco Iannuzzi, and Jalil Carter was on the scene.
The Argos got the safety, Matt Black, up tight to the line. He came. Travis Lulay's got no chance to make an accurate throw here. Matt Black is going to come from depth on this play. You watch from the left side of your screen. He's going to hit it. He gets up tight to the line late. First man to show. Lulay's got to get rid of it in a hurry. It's tough to be on target with 2 blue shirts in your face.
Chris Jones' pressure package has been effective so far. Paul McCallum looking for his 19th consecutive field goal. 10-yard chip shot. And the Lions get 3 off the Colaros fumble. Andre Dury and the Argo offense will be back to work when we come back. Guys still celebrating last year's Grey Cup title. Hugh O'Neill will kick it off. And Xander Robinson bats that down with his paw and comes up with it. The way he goes. Second kick return for the big fullback out of Western. And decent field position for Zach Colaros.
Xander's taking this conversion from defensive end to fullback very seriously. Wants to get his hands on the ball anytime he can. I think Mike O'Shea might have just whispered to him that, let that go to Chad Owens.
Yeah, we got a guy back there.
Returner either.
We got a guy back there who knows what he's doing.
It was a heck of a run by the big fella.
And Hugh O'Neill has to take him down. 6'5", 243. Xander Robinson. So just inside the 50, they'll hand it off to Curtis Steele. And Steele shows you some hard running to midfield. Product of the University of Memphis, and a late flag comes down. Both Ricky Ray, Chad Cackert injured in the win against the Bombers last week. There's Cackert on the sidelines.
After the play, made the foul. Face mask. BC, number 31. 15 yards on the end of the play. First down.
So Dante Marsh, the veteran corner.
Yeah, Marsh got into it with John Childs, the Argos rookie receiver, who was blocking him on the play. Dante, the veteran, didn't like Childs getting the hands up in the face. I think those flags easily could have gone both ways.
Usually the young guy gets the call, not the veteran. 10-year vet takes the 15-yard penalty. First down at the Lion 40. Colaros for Owens, and it's busted up and nearly picked off by Dante Marsh.
Dante Marsh just shakes off that flag and goes about his business. We'll take a look at a few to watch on this BC Lions defense. Adam Bighill. Lions happy to have him back after missing the last 2 games with an ankle injury. Karan Williams, just 1 sack this season. He hasn't had a lot of them against the Toronto Argonauts over the last few years. And first-year player Cord Parks leads the Lions in both tackles and interceptions through 5 weeks.
Argos with Ricky Ray had only 215 net yards against that Lion defense last week. Here's a pass complete. Inside Childs does some dancing and gets pulled down by Cord Parks, short of the first down. But they get it into field goal range for Noel Prefontaine.
Well, Zach Colaros getting a couple of completions under his belt, moving the ball a little bit on that drive. one of the big things I know for head coach Scott Milanovic was trying to keep Zach Collaros calm. He says he's an emotional guy, plays with a lot of that. You don't want to change who he is, but you also don't want him to get too high or too low in the course of the ball game.
Said he might throw the first couple of passes through his receivers. So here's Prefontaine from 41 out. And he has pushed it wide, and Tim Brown will run it out. And Brown beyond the 20. Outside Jeff Johnson. Flag down as Brown is dragged down at the 44-yard line by David Lee, but it looks like the bulk of the return will be negated.
Much conversation about why we haven't seen a lot of long field goal attempts this season. It's because of guys like Tim Brown and the risk that they present of taking those back the other way.
During the return, holding, BC, number 6, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Josh Bell called, so that will push it back. Travis Lulay and Andrew Harris will go back to work for the Lions on offense when we return to Toronto. Lions have won 6 consecutive games against the Argos, but the success rate far more impressive than that. 16 of their last 17 dating back to the 2004 Grey Cup when the Argos prevailed against the Lions in Ottawa. Penalty brings the football back to the 15 where Travis Lulay will start. And a toss to the right side for Andrew Harris. And Harris has first down yardage to the 25 coming off his second 100-yard game of the year. He had 103 against Edmonton with 3 touchdowns.
Well, Toronto's got to get somebody moving because Andrew Harris is going to jumpstart this. Somebody's got to recognize that and start to flow with him. They're not getting to the outside. You see the Argos defense gets outflanked, allows Harris to break contain. So they got to get themselves on the move to make sure they get that play turned back in as soon as they see the motion and Andrew Harris get a jump start ahead of the snap count that he's going that way for the toss.
Big boys come in because the ball was marked just shy of the 25, so it's 2nd and inches for Thomas DeMarco and the Lions. As he comes in, do you take a shot from that deep? Slides to the right and gets tossed down, but whistle sounds and that play didn't get off.
Timeout, BC.
Well, Mike Benavides not real happy to have to burn one this early in the ball game.
DeMarco was late getting out. And now comes back to the sidelines to confirm. He's checking the numbers just to make sure they had the right complement on the field. Doesn't appear why that timeout was called. With a reboot, and it's 2nd and again and inches. Again off the right side for the first down, and Robert McCune will make him pay as Jalil Carter combines on the stop. It's funny listening to Andrew Harris yesterday talk about playing against Robert McCune.
Travis Lulay, BC Lions quarterback. He's been on a roll. We talked off the opening about him being the last CFL quarterback to make his first career start here under the dome. Got off to a tough start that day, but he has been tremendous over the last 3 seasons. 26-8 as the BC Lions starter.
That sits an 0-5 start a couple years back. And again, shovel inside, and Harris is buried. Well, we mentioned that his first start was against the Argos. Had some success, over 300 yards, but this mistake at the end of the game led to a loss.
Yeah, moments away from putting that one away. Taking a victory in his first one, picked off by Mr. Pick Six, Byron Parker. That gave the Argos the win. Tough lesson learned for Travis Lulay.
Wally Bono said after the game, hoping it was from the school of hard knocks. Apparently was. As he has bounced back for a brilliant career. Second and long, and here's Lule taking off. And Jamie Robinson flips him up at the 30-yard line, short of the first down. Shane Horton was closing quickly, but there's the new Will linebacker taking the spot of Brandon Isaac.
This is a great effort by Jamie Robinson because it looked like Travis Lule was going to get the corner on him. Turned this one upfield, but Robinson, converted cornerback, stayed with him, managed to get him by those shoelaces and bring down the Lion quarterback.
Challenge Booth and Owens. Now to Bustler. Gets inside. Has a blocker, but there is a flag. Chad Owens has been trying to get on track. Has been held to under a 5-yard return average in the last 2 games. That would have been 31, but it's coming back.
Well, Mike O'Shea looking for the scene of the crime.
During the return, holding Toronto, number 83, 10-yard penalty, first down.
And it's Julian Violi-Godino.
Keep an eye on the right side of your screen. Number 6, Josh Bell, the man that gets held.
Excuse me, Quinn Porter, 23, not 83. That draws the flag. Take the steal. Toronto's in trouble and drop the ball and scoops it up with Adam Bighill tossing him down.
Well, Adam Bighill, he's only going to play limited snaps tonight. His first game back from that ankle injury suffered against the Argos in week 2. But the BC Lions very happy to have him back, and he looked like he wasn't having any trouble maneuvering in space on this one. Beats Xander Robinson to the inside and just maintains that outside in leverage on Collaros. Doesn't allow him that spin outside. Didn't bite on that fake.
When he went down on July 4th against the Argos, looked like that could be season ending. Misses a couple of games, but back in fine form. Second and 23, steal on the backfield, and he gets cut down. Good tackle there in the open field by Cord Parks, the newcomer on the corner.
Well, the Lions defense, that second and extremely long situation, just sitting back to let the Argos catch anything in front of them. Come up and make the tackle. Cord Parks leading the way with defensive coordinator Rich Stubler's unit, former Toronto Argonaut head coach.
Tough defense for a young quarterback to solve. Long count. Prefontaine boots it away. Here's Tim Brown fielding it at the 50. Across midfield, another flag as he dragged down at the Argo 46. Just a 35-yard punt by Prefontaine.
While the ball is in flight, holding, BC, number 51, first down.
Jordan Matichuk, and that is a sizable difference in field position as it's brought all the way back to the Lion 40-yard line.
Well, both these teams have enjoyed great success with their return men over the last couple of seasons. Chad Owens and Tim Brown struggling to get the return game going. Lions have experimented with Corey Williams back there as well. Penalties an issue, negating a couple of pretty good returns in the early going here.
BC ranked 4th in yards produced on offense. The Argos come into this game ranked last in yards allowed. Over the middle, Marcus Ball's got a pick. 3 in the postseason last year, and Ball's got a big one here in the opening quarter to give the Argos life and great field position. And Kirby Fabian, the Lions' right guard, shaken up on the play.
Well, Marcus Ball's going to drop into coverage, and it seemed like Travis Lule just lost him. as he dropped to help out here, widens, and then he's going to get deep and takes away that window on Lule, looking for Nick Moore. Good read from Ball, playing the will linebacker spot, a former safety in college at Florida State and University of Memphis.
8 tackles in the last meeting against BC. First interception of the year. He had 2 in the Eastern Final.
Yeah, I see it. You almost got it.
And Lule has tossed his 4th interception of the season. They continue to work on Kirby Fabian, Bill Rochelle, and the medical staff out.
Kirby Fabian went down, clutched his knee right away. He's trying to get downfield to cover on this interception. Cleon Lang blocks him. Landed awkwardly on that left knee as he kind of went briefly airborne.
Rookie out of Calgary who has been earning rave reviews for his terrific start. Mike Benavides telling us yesterday, textbook in his fundamentals.
Some of the veterans, including Angus Reid, the Lions injured center, suggested, I've never seen a guard move like that. This kid is ridiculously athletic.
They do have veteran Dean Valley likely to move back into that right guard spot, but a tough break for the rookie of the Lions who's played so well to start the season.
He and Matt Norman, the 2 2012 draft picks in the middle of that offensive line, have shored up an area that was expected to be a little bit of a question mark, particularly when Angus Reid went down just before training camp, suffering from back issues. John Hameister-Reese still yet to rejoin this team, recovering from injury.
So the ball's on the Lion 43-yard line. Thanks to the Marcus Ball interception. And he'll keep it. The zone read. Back dropped at the 35-yard line. Good first down production. Elamimi in the tackle. But again, not a play you'll see Ricky Ray run very often.
No, these two guys are different. And, you know, you look at Zach Collaros, historically, you're starting to see some of the things he can do on the football field. But a little bit about what he's done in the past. Going back to high school, won his last 30 consecutive starts en route to consecutive state championships. His last 2 years at Steubenville High School, a star at the University of Cincinnati.
3 carries, 16 yards. Looking for a first down. His first ever start at Cincinnati. He ran for 2 touchdowns, including a 75-yard romp to claim the starter's job there.
He went on to become an All-Big East selection in his junior season, injured as a senior, but still compiled an 8-2 record as the starting quarterback. Injured in a loss to Geno Smith in West Virginia in November of that season. The fractured ankle, he came back in just 7 weeks to play in the Liberty Bowl that year. Led the team to a victory in that bowl game.
So it's going to be 3rd and short. Lions beef up their line on what will be the final play of this opening quarter, barring a penalty. Collaros off the left side, not much of a surge, and now he reaches out and should have it. Corey Banks trying to help with the spot. Well, this is going to be close. The Lions believe they have come up with a stop.
Well, it looked like Adam Bighill stacked him up initially right at the line of scrimmage. There's a second effort there from Collaros. It might have just gotten him there.
Saw him bubble a little bit to the left. It was just inches, and maybe should have just followed Jeff keeping straight ahead. Looks like Chris Van Zyl was shaking up the right guard as he takes a knee. And they do have it. Less than the length of a football. Caleros in the offense will stay out. They trail 3-0 after 1 quarter in Toronto. Oh, defensive battle through 15 minutes here in Toronto.
Yeah, both defenses obviously off to a very good start in this ball game. I think when you look for Zach Caleros, rookie quarterback making his first start, we knew he was going to be in tough. We'll say no fatal errors so far for the young quarterback. He had the fumble, but that's really the struggles of the young running back, Curtis Steele, in picking up protection in his first game.
We know the Lions have a good defense led by Rich Stubler that can give a young quarterback trouble. The question was about the Argo defense, and that's as well as they played early in the game this year.
Yeah, and I think the important thing is that the tone was set in that first possession, particularly by the defensive line. I thought Khalif Mitchell in particular sent a very good physical message on that first BC Lions possession. They're getting after Travis Lulay a little bit, not giving him time to get anything going.
First Van Zyl shaking up on that quarterback sneak. He's on the sidelines. Mark Parento. Chad Owens gets the ball, gets the block, and then gets brought down by Josh Bell at the 26-yard line.
The Argos may look to use this short passing game, particularly to Owens and Andre Dury, a little bit to try and set up something deep later. With Dontrell Inman out of the lineup, they don't necessarily have the same sort of deep ball presence that they usually do. They may have to create some of those opportunities for guys like Jason Barnes and Spencer Watt as the game goes on.
Inman didn't play in the first game against the Lions as well. They felt they didn't have a deep threat at all. Childs last week showed that the Argos may be able to stretch the field. Giles, who made headlines for a drop. Ricky Ray's only incompletion in that game. Again, Caleros picks his way to the first down. Elimimian will make the tackle at the 22-yard line.
It seems like Scott Milanovich and Marcus Brady have settled in a little bit in terms of what they want to do. They're going to get Zach Caleros on the move. Called run, just let him use those legs, get him into his comfort zone. Your job as a coach is to put your players in a position to be successful. They feel that's where Zach Caleros is at his best.
Marcus Brady, as Dave Randorf mentioned, the last Argo to win his CFL debut, and that came back in 2003. First down, and the heat's on. He gets away from Bigelow into the end zone. Does he have it? Yes! Touchdown, Jason Barnes. Now the kid looked cool there.
This is what Zach Caleros brings to the table. Blitzing Adam Bighill right in his face, calmly sidesteps him, keeping the eyes downfield, and puts it up where Jason Barnes can go make a play. He's not the calm, cool, poised pocket passer necessarily that Ricky Ray is, but what Zach Caleros is a competitive playmaker.
So he makes a play to Barnes, who really helps his quarterback out with a terrific catch. 6 plays, 67 yards. Zach Caleros with the touchdown pass. Josh Bell slow to get up at the end of the play. Barnes with his 3rd touchdown catch in 2013.
Well, it becomes an important play, Chris. If the BC Lions decide that the way they want to get to the young quarterback is by sending pressure, when you're the Argos, you've got to make plays like that against pressure to get them out of that mindset.
Fontaine has the extra point. The Argos have the lead early in the second quarter.
This one's not exactly the way you draw it up on that offensive line. Everybody's got to squeeze down to the inside. The left guard, Joe Appel, doesn't, which means Adam Bighill's going to come free through that A-gap. Zach Caleros, he remains unfazed despite that bust up front. Sidesteps it, eyes downfield, dart.
First touchdown pass as a starter. He had a touchdown pass last year in a relief role against Hamilton. A game that knocked the Ticats out of the playoffs last year.
What's up, everybody back home in Cali? See you soon. Miss y'all.
Number 10, Jansen Jackson.
Good field position for the Lions off that kick return up to the 49-yard line.
Well, now up to Travis Boulay to respond against what has been a very good Toronto defense. Thus far, we talked about the Argonauts making a play against pressure. Lions have to do the same as that Toronto defensive line led by Khalif Mitchell has been ever present in the backfield.
Argos gets 7 off the Lulay turnover. They'll try and get it back. Hands off, and Andrew Harris goes to work. Across midfield and outside. At the Argo 46-yard line. Andrew with his best game against the Argos. 21 touches for 152 yards.
Very well blocked up. Andrew Harris has the convoy in front of him. The cat Patrick Kabongo swallowed up. I believe it was James Urachuk at the point of attack to get that edge for Harris.
Is Dean Valley, 54, right guard, taking the spot to Kirby Fabian. 15 for Harris for the first down for the Lions. Short drop. Nick Moore's got it. Cuts back and dropped at the 38-yard line as Jonathan Williams, the defensive end, who spent a little time with the Lions a couple of years back, helps out on the tackle.
Andrew Harris does a nice job cleaning up in the backfield here. Khalif Mitchell on that defensive line is going to come free. Beats his man at the line of scrimmage as Matt Norman tried to cut. But Andrew Harris giving up a lot in terms of poundage, but he's there to step up and bail out his offensive line.
He's telling us how he sized up Robert McHugh and what's going into the big boy. Wants to do more. And Andrew Harris has a first down run. He's third in the league in yards from scrimmage and third in rushing as he's now over 300 yards on the season.
Well, we spend so much time with running backs talking about how important speed and quickness are, but often overlooked is the need for patience, and Andrew Harris absolutely showed it there, keeping his feet moving until that gap opened up and then accelerating through it, pick up positive yards.
On pace for over 1,300 yards this year. First down BC. Back into the hands of Harris. Ball steps into him. Down to the 28, close to 5.
Well, how important is Andrew Harris to the success of the BC Lions? I think when you look at his touches per game as compared to the Lions' results, it speaks volumes. Week 1, he only had the ball in his hands 8 times, 40 yards from scrimmage. Over the last 3 weeks, all Lions victories, averaging over 20 touches and 100 yards per game.
6 carries, 37 yards so far here in the opening half. 2nd and 6, BC. 4-man rush, wide open. Taylor's got it. And a first down for BC at the 17, and Taylor a little slow to get up.
Quick hitter here from the BC Lions as they're starting to get the Toronto defense off balance a little bit. Mixing things up, using that run game to Harris. Now the quick ball, again, trying to affect Toronto's pressure game. Courtney Harris looked like he took a bit of a shot there from the free safety, Matt Black.
Black trying to rip it out. Robert McCune also got a hit on the receiver who remains down. When he graduated from Auburn, the leading receiver in Auburn history.
Billy Rochelle looking at that hand or wrist. Got to bear in mind this BC receiving core. They've got some depth, but already dipping into that with Ernest Jackson in the lineup tonight in place of an injured Manny Arsenault.
Arsenault out with an ankle problem. Ernest Jackson, whose first game was here in Toronto last year, and it was a big one. 4 catches, 87 yards. He had a 50-yarder in that game to put himself in the Lions' offensive scheme of things. First down, a little pressure, and they get it around. Lulay to the corner, and out of bounds as he felt the heat. David Lee put on the pressure.
Similar to what we saw when the Lions ventured into that offensive green zone in the first quarter of this ball game. Not giving Travis Lulay time to get the ball where it needs to be. David Lee stays with his responsibility, doesn't bite on the fake. Western product just keeps that outside leverage, forces Lulay to hurry it along.
And you got to make big plays like that when you've got the fan club here. All those white Argo t-shirts are wearing 91 Lee on the back. 2nd and 10. Lulay underneath the 4. And he'll be brought down short. Good play by Gatlin to bring him down and deny a first down.
It seemed like Nick Moore was wide open at the time when he caught that ball. But you see the speed of Josh Gatlin, who closed in a hurry. Nick Moore lines up as the number 2 receiver to the field, and there's that quick out. Gatlin sees it and comes off his man. Step up and make the play.
Argos said they simplified things on defense last week and were far more efficient. This is the best that defense has looked so far this season. So McCallum on. 17-yard field goal attempt. And he puts it through as the Lions get within 1. Former teammates and roommates meet up before the game. Zach Collaros, Jarius Jackson. And with more on that story, here again, Matt Shinetti.
Chris, probably last year when Zach Collaros was the Argos' 4th quarterback, he could have no better roommate than Jarius Jackson, who took a close look at the young quarterback and told me today, after that year, that Zach Collaros was what he called a peer player, someone who could improvise if he needed to, but stay within the system. But the one thing he told Collaros very succinctly, kid, when you are playing and you're the guy, the time and the space and how you deal with pressure is so key to your success in the field. What we saw with Big Bill going for his chin and how he connected with Barnes just shows that this kid is adapting really well to the pressure, guys.
Well, Scott Milanovich very big on Jarius Jackson's impact. And, well, Mike O'Shea magic there on the kick return reverse as Quinn Porter takes the flip from Chad Owens and brings it out to midfield.
Well, Mike O'Shea's looking to get a little spark in that return game, and if everybody's going to key on Chad Owens, then they'll mix it up, let everybody go with Owens. Well executed reverse there to the backup running back, Quinn Porter.
Just to finish the Jackson story, Milanovich saying perfect guy for the young quarterbacks to be tutored under, and he thinks Jarius Jackson will be a great coach. Andre Dury in a battle, and Corey Banks is there defensively. And the always outspoken Banks thought he should have had interception number 36 of a distinguished career.
Well, looking to pull ahead of his buddy Ryan Phillips on that career list. Andre Dury goes on that deep corner route. Great matchup between a couple of the best veterans in this league. Well defended by Corey Banks. Perfect position. Gets the hand in there to break it up.
He says that Phillips is a big edge now because he's got to play closer to the line of scrimmage. There's an open man. Double move there by Spencer Watt. Toward Parks will bring him down at the 40, but it's on Argo first down. Zach Collaros got things moving.
Spencer Watt lines up at number 1 slot to the outside. He's just going to come in inside and hang. With Cord Parks off him, buys a little bit of extra space as the defender slipped.
John Childs in motion, 1st and 10. Inside Curtis Steele with a hole, and he's got 7. Steele twice the offensive player of the year at the University of Memphis. Over 1,200 yards rushing in each of his 2 seasons there. Number 2 on their all-time list.
Conference USA Newcomer of the Year when he arrived at University of Memphis. There you see over 1,200 yards, spent a year with the Baltimore Ravens. Argos brought him in this year. A little finder's fee going to linebacker Marcus Ball, who had been his teammate at Memphis in college.
Last act, Chad Cacker, hurt in Winnipeg, immediately text Steele to say, you're carrying the load next. Andre Dury, first down. What a year for Andre Dury, who leads the Canadian Football League in yards after the catch.
Dury's a guy who's been on the verge of breaking into the elite of Canadian players in the CFL. He lines up faking that slot back sweep that he often runs. Nice pump fake by Collaros to get Adam Bighill out of the way.
Little poise there.
And doing a nice job thus far of taking what the defense has given him. The one concern, I think, for many people coming in was that Collaros might be over-aggressive coming into this ballgame.
Take the end around, he sidesteps Bighill again, gets it away, Robinson has a first down to the 5, and we're getting a little with the Jeff Garcia, Travis Lulay comparisons. Absolutely,
I think Zach Collaros has found his groove and his confidence. Once again, it's Bighill coming free, and I think Bighill might be having nightmares about Zach Collaros at this point, just unable to bring this kid down. Finds his tight end, Xander Robinson, out in the flat. The big boy becomes a little more involved in this offense every week.
The number 1 gunslinger watches on the sidelines as his backup marches the team. Steele into the backfield. Steele reaches for the pylon and comes up just short.
A tremendous effort there by Curtis Steele. He looked like he was going to get lit up just past the line of scrimmage. Turned himself sideways and disappeared on the defenders. Quick hitter to the flat. Little hurdle.
And Collaros has used 7 different receivers. Argos have 8 different receivers with a catch of 30 yards or more this year, so plenty of weapons for the young quarterback. Now 2nd and goal from the 1. Take the steal, Robinson again. CFL is going to be a ratings hit.
Well, Zach Collaros looks a little bit like he's done this before. Xander Robinson in motion from the backfield. Quick hitter to the flat. Kid makes it look easy right now.
Well, a defensive end to start with the Argos has his first CFL touchdown as a fullback. Has the extra point. 7 plays, 55-yard drive for Collaros and the Argos in just under 4.5 minutes as they widen the lead. Friday, the CFL on TSN continues. The Tiger Cats kicking off against the Eskimos at Commonwealth. It all gets underway 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific here on TSN. Zach Collaros 5 for 6 on the drive, 48 yards. Caps it with the first touchdown reception ever by Xander Robinson. There goes by Eat. And Tim Brown returns it up around the 40-yard line.
Really found his groove here in the second quarter of this football game. He makes on that drive, finding a variety of different receivers, using his legs a little bit to buy time, just being creative and making plays. This is kind of Zach Collaros at his best. It all culminates. Curtis Steele setting it up, followed by the touchdown pass to Xander Robinson.
Bigger sample size, but what we saw against Hamilton last year in Saskatchewan, here's Marco Iannuzzi taken down up at the 50-yard line, but Marco Iannuzzi, the Harvard product, has a first down. Robert McCune with the tackle.
The Lions, a team known for trying to get their receivers involved in the run game a little bit. Multiple, not just points of attack, but multiple attackers, so to speak, in their run game.
See what the veteran Lulay can do in response. First down at the BC 50-yard line. Harris releases. Underneath it goes to him, and Jalil Carter there to toss him out after a short gain. Maybe a yard for Harris as we hit the 3-minute warning here in Toronto. Coming up halftime, it's GMC Live at the half. Boys will talk about Zach Collaros, and on coin toss they'll talk about the best and worst of the week. Week 5 coming to an end a little later than usual on Tuesday night.
An extended week 5.
Not sure if we've got the Tuesday night football theme music done yet, but we're working on it. Travis Lulay working on 2nd and 8. Three-man Argo rush. Off, there's Harris again, and the first down as he skips out. Back-to-back catches for Harris, who came into the game with 15 on the season.
And they'll try and take a little bit of the wind out of the sails of this Argonaut defense. Changing up that momentum, quiet the crowd here a bit. Lulay with a quick hitter. Harris, typically among the leading receivers among CFL running backs.
In a slow starting offense this year, they had just 7 first quarter points coming into this game. 3 in the opening quarter, and now trying to cut into this Argo lead in the second quarter, 14-6.
Once again, you get a look at the patience of Andrew Harris. Rather than running up the backs of the legs of his offensive linemen. Keeps things tight, keeps the feet churning, just waiting for a seam. Gets what he can on first down.
Led the league in yards from scrimmage last year, on pace for even more this season. Came into the game on pace for 1,900 yards from scrimmage. Flags fly. Pre-snap penalty.
Yeah, it looked like Sean Gore, lined up out wide, was well offside on the play.
And the Lions with only 3 offside or procedures in the first 4 weeks, which is one of the reasons they are the lowest penalized team in the league. But no consolation for Mike Benavides right now.
No, not at this moment.
Offside, BC, number 85. 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
Now it's a great group of young receivers, but you wonder at times, no Manny Arsenault, G. Roy Simon now in Saskatchewan, not that veteran go-to guy they've had in the past. 2nd and 11, and Chris Jones working that sideline, and out of this stance comes Olafioye, and they're going to march back even more.
Suddenly back-to-back plays. The Lions perhaps looking a little rattled.
And Jones looked like he was ready to join the defensive set on the sidelines.
Procedure, BC, number 63. 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
So Olafioye this time. And it went from 2nd and 5 to 2nd and 15 with back-to-back Lion penalties.
As you mentioned, Chris, not a team that typically shoots themselves in the foot, despite their youth, a disciplined unit.
Malik Mitchell jumping around. And now, play whistle down before it gets off, and it's going to be a time count violation, and they whip up the crowd here at Rogers Center.
Time count violation. BC, number 14. That's a loss of down penalty. It becomes third down.
Very rare self-destruct for Travis Lulay and the BC Lions.
Please reset the game clock to read 1:58. 1:58.
Big Khalif Mitchell is out there prior to the snap, doing everything he can to rattle the Lions' cages.
Owens awaits. Paul McCallum gets set to punt. Just under 2 minutes left in this first half. Argos blocked one against the Lions in week 2. McCallum gets this away, and it's a good one. Inside the numbers, and Owens is tripped up immediately. Good downfield cover by Cord Parks. 44-yard boot into the corner by Paul McCallum.
Oh, that was fantastic placement from Paul McCallum right along the sidelines. Giving Chad Owens nowhere to go. Take another look at this spot. You generally want to get between the numbers and the sidelines, but you get that close to the sidelines. Only one way to go. Makes the coverage a whole lot easier.
Well, he's been on a roll. He's thrown a couple of touchdown passes in this second quarter, but now he's got to work deep in his own zone. Curtis Steele trying to get inside. A good first down run for the newcomer. And he'll get up strong with the veteran Dante Marsh.
Chris, I'll go back to the point of the importance of the coaching staff knowing and understanding their players and putting them in a position to be successful. And we've talked a little bit about Zach Collaros and maybe the risk of him getting a little overexcited, pushing, trying to make plays. He's got some momentum right now. I love the play call in that situation to not have him throwing the football. Keep it on the ground, try and get a play there, not risk any turnovers deep in their territory late in the half.
High percentage first half, and he'll hand it off to Steele again, and the Indian there awaiting to limit the damage. Well, the Argo quarterbacks run an offensive meeting the day before, half-hour meeting, and Collaros said that was an important thing for him. Ricky Ray obviously usually does it, but he felt he took command of the meeting. Scott Milanovic not even in the room, but Collaros sent a message to everybody, he'd be ready. And he's backed it up here in the opening 30 minutes. Underneath and nothing doing. Eric Taylor enveloping Curtis Steele. So now BC will get it back. See what kind of field position they get with under a minute to go in the opening half.
Oh, this is a great heads-up play by Eric Taylor, former Toronto Argonaut, understanding what the mindset of the Toronto Argonauts is here. They're playing it conservative. They don't want to throw the ball downfield. Taylor, a veteran, sniffs that out. Knows the screen is coming.
Tim Brown awaits around the Lions 40. Prefontaine letting him run down a bit. Here's Tim Brown. Tripped up immediately. That's Jermaine Gabriel, the rookie, former Calgary Colt, with a good tackle to limit it to a 1-yard return. Big special team play.
Jermaine Gabriel making his mark on special teams, a guy who started his college career at Bishop. Finished up playing some junior ball, as you said, with the Calgary Colts. Earned his way through the regional combines. Earned himself an invitation to the main CFL combine in Toronto. Performed well enough to make himself an early pick of the Argonauts. Get a spot on this roster.
See what Lulay can do with the final half minute of this first half. Hands it off to Harris. On the left side, Andrew Harris up to the 48.
Travis Lulay the league's most outstanding player in 2011, looking for his first 300-yard game of 2013. The Argos doing their part to keep him off that sheet. Just 87 yards here in the first half through the air.
Second down and up to the 52-yard line. Looks like they'll be just short, and a little brouhaha going on well beyond here as tempers flare and everybody getting into it. Former Lion James Juracek trying to be the peacemaker. And let's see how the flags unfold here. Watkins and Nick Moore in a pretty good debate. But a 15-yard penalty against Toronto might give the Lions a shot at a field goal here. So we'll see what Al Bradbury's crew comes up with.
Yeah, this all began with a collision between Sean Gore, who was blocking, and Jaleel Carter, who gave him a pretty good shot. You wonder if there's still some ill will between these two teams after Gore took a shot from Jansen Jackson the last time these two teams met in Vancouver that left the receiver concussed and out of the lineup for a week.
Saw a pretty good battle earlier in the game involving Dante Marsh and John Childs, and could have gone either way. It went against Marsh. We'll see what way it goes this time. It will be would have been third down and short here. Lions would have to use another play to get a first down. Let's see if we can find out how this all started.
Right at the right side of your screen, it was just ahead of this that Gore went to block Jaleel Carter. Carter had knocked him down, so this was actually kind of round two.
Looked like Gore was climbing over Jaleel Carter to get to somebody else, but Carter's fired up and going to have a measurement as well here, I believe, to see if first down yardage was gained prior to the penalties.
I think the important message from both coaches is to put your personal grievances aside, concentrate on playing football.
Stretching the chain out. Do they have it? Looks like by the nose of the football. And Al Bradbury's got the notebook out now. And you wonder if there might be some ejections.
After the first down was made, we have a number of fouls. We have BC 25, 17, 86 for unnecessary roughness. We also have one Toronto player for unnecessary roughness. They will saw off as 30 yards after the first down. First down.
So 3-1. And that'll back the Lions up with 11 seconds to go, and will likely convince Mike Benavides to just take a knee and get to the dressing room.
Yeah, stop the bleeding, collect themselves, and get ready to come back out here in the second half. And I suspect the message from Mike Benavides will be let's play some BC Lions football after the break.
Averaging 62 yards of penalties per game coming in. They've exceeded that here in this opening half. They've done it by a wide margin. 8 penalties, 90 yards. As they do take a knee, and we'll have to do it one more time. Lions the favorites coming in. So much success against the Argos in the past. And they have been getting better by the week, but this Argo defense has stepped up in the opening half. And a couple of touchdown passes from Zach Collaros in his first Canadian Football League start. 14-6 at the half as we join Dave Randorf and our panel. Argo fans like the first half, 14-6 Toronto as we get set for the second half. But first, Matt Giannitti on the sidelines with Corey Banks.
Corey, what did you see from Zach Collaros in the first half? What have you learned about him so far?
Oh, well, they simplified it for him, right? We overthinking ourselves, and they're slowing us down by doing a lot of misdirection. And I mean, he's playing with guts right now, you know, but at the end of the day, that's why you play 60 minutes.
What was the message from Coach Stubler at halftime?
Just relax. He don't even have to talk to us. We know what we have to do. We just relax, play football, fly around, and, you know, we're fast defense. They're slowing us down with what they're doing, but we have a couple of things to do this half. We'll come out on top.
Thanks for this.
Appreciate it.
Like having a coach on the field when you've got Corey Banks.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if there's a guy in the world of Canadian football with better instincts than Corey Banks. Confident prediction there from the veteran defender.
Well, it made the matchup more intriguing. I don't think it's a shock that Zach Collaros is showing promise here. A lot of people believe he's capable of that, but it was a stiff test to be playing the BC Lions defense. So far, so good, but a lot of football left, as Corey Banks told me. Argos with the ball to start the second half, and Chad Owens on the return, stacked up around the 35-yard line.
This first half offensively for the Toronto Argonauts, led, of course, by their young quarterback, Zach Collaros, out of the University of Cincinnati, an impressive 11 of 13, 2 touchdowns thus far. Jason Barnes had two catches, including Collaros' touchdown toss. Curtis Steele filling in for Chad Cackert, 7 touches, 43 yards from the backfield.
Argos have been a high percentage offense this year. That continued in the first half, and Steele does some dancing, but no hole opens up. Karan Williams there defensively, Kareem Smith as well. Well, Zach Collaros gets the start. Ricky Ray, a knee injury last week in Winnipeg that through the bye week next week should have him ready to go when they go back to work in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, similar situation to a number of the teams starting the backups prior to the bye, looking to maximize that recovery time.
Collaros pumps and on a roll. Everybody open. Looks downfield. Chad Owens trying to come up with the ball, but in double coverage, incomplete. Dangerous pass.
Well, that might be the first time in this ball game that head coach Scott Milanovich will pull his young quarterback aside and say, I need you to make a better decision. And that's one of the big things you're looking for in this ball game from Collaros, is not for him to go out and win this ball game by himself, but for him to make the right decisions in terms of who he's going to get the ball to let them win the game.
There's Corey Banks with the knockdown. 2 and out. And Tim Brown will step out just beyond the 40-yard line. 31-yard punt by Prefontaine. Rookie right guard Kirby Fabian was injured in the first half. With more on his condition, here's Matt Giannitti.
Guys, as you can see, Kirby Fabian is being put on a cart and he will be taken to a local hospital. BC team officials say that he has a knee injury, that he's being evaluated at the local hospital, but he will return with the team back to British Columbia. Guys?
As mentioned, off to a terrific start this season. Dean Valley, the veteran, back in there now. Travis Lule and the Lions have scored on the opening possession of the third quarter in 3 of their 4 games this year. Tim Brown's now in at running back, and he runs it to the 47-yard line. In fact, back-to-back touchdowns to start the third quarter in the last 2 games.
As mentioned, they're going to have to do it without their young offensive guard, Kirby Fabian. Dean Valley, first-round pick for this team back in 2006. Back in the lineup, a guy who's battled injuries a little bit over the last couple of years. We've seen Khalif Mitchell is having a Khalif Mitchell kind of night up front. So for Valley and young Matt Norman, Patrick Kabongo, they're going to have to go to war here.
2nd and 5 after the Brown carry. Harris back in. He released. Pass is caught in the flat, but it'll be short of the first down. Courtney Taylor gets stacked up. And the Argos look like they've got to stop. It's going to be 3rd and at least a yard, and Mike Benavides wants to know exactly how much they need.
That's right. Is it a long yard or a short yard? No doubt Mike Benavides wants every opportunity to try and keep that string of impressive opening second half drives intact.
Get a measurement to survey the landscape. And
gotta go.
That's automatic, isn't it?
Yeah, gotta go for it.
Like from that far chain, it was going to be a little tougher decision, but at near midfield, the short yardage group comes on, the jumbo team, and Thomas DeMarco. And Khalif Mitchell does some more calisthenics to get ready to plug up the hole. And DeMarco slides off the left side and has it, and a lot more down to the Argo 50-yard line.
Looks almost Flutie-esque, pulling that sneak around the edge. Quarterback of smaller stature. Just gets down behind the big boys with everybody pinching down towards those A gaps between center and guards.
Flutie had a big fullback to plow away for him.
And not for long.
Now DeMarco providing a first down to the Lions offense. Will try and keep that streak alive. Time for the play. That sideline pass incomplete. Not on the same page as Ernest Jackson.
You wonder with Ernest Jackson making his first start of the season. Perhaps he read that a little differently than what Travis Lulay's been seeing thus far in similar looks from Manny Arsenault in that spot.
CFL records big plays as 20-yard or more runs, 30-plus passing plays. And the Lions have 15 on the year coming into the game. Just one tonight, a 38-yard pass to Nick Moore. Here's Andrew Harris on the screen, and you'll get near the first down stick.
A nice play call, understanding the situation and the defensive tendencies. Blitz is going to come from the secondary on the offensive right side, left side of your screen. BC Lions coordinator Jacques Chapdelaine knows that tendency and that down and distance, opting for the screen to combat pressure.
Balance on that Chapdelaine offense, 67% pass, 33% run, and another third down gamble. DeMarco and the jumbo team back out. This time it looks like it's the full yard. Does he slide outside again? They'll hand it off. Sean Gore, he gets to the edge. Out at the 25-yard line. Robert McHugh finally hauls him down. That's a horse.
A couple of the young stars of this BC Lions offense combined to create this big play. Sean Gore ends up with the ball. Andrew Harris, the guy who's usually carrying, is the lead blocker on this one, does a nice job getting out in front, hunting down a blue jersey and Jaleel Carter.
And the Lions have had 6 different ball carriers in the game.
Well, fairly typical for the Lions and their scheme.
So BC marching. First down at the 25, take to Harris. And the pass is to Taylor, and he takes a lick. Gets drilled out by Jaleel Carter, who's been fired up in this game. And Taylor gets back into his face. What a little rivalry going between these two.
And again, you want to make sure that this stuff doesn't start turning personal, because that's when you'll draw a flag and hurt your team. Take nothing away from the big hit here. Listen in. Jaleel Carter becoming a leader in the secondary. for this Toronto team in just his second year.
8th play of the drive, and second and less than a yard. DeMarco back in. Do you give him a shot, and you get the first down? He's going to fake, and they're going to give him a shot into the end zone, and incomplete. Harris released, but Gatlin was there defensively.
Yeah, Argos didn't bite at all. They were prepared for it. Had Andrew Harris covered up downfield. Andrew Harris on the left side, just off that tight end.
Well, they've been playing 3-down football on this drive. 3rd down again. And DeMarco still at the controls. This time he'll plunge with a flag down. Would have the first down. Let's sort out the penalty.
Thomas DeMarco took a pretty good shot.
Offside, Toronto, number 96. 5-yard penalty, first down.
The former Lion was offside, Khalif Mitchell.
Khalif Mitchell's helmet inside that neutral zone. And hard to be inconspicuous when you're 6'6", 315 pounds.
Lions have outscored their opponents 46-20 in the 3rd quarter this season, their best quarter. They've got something going here. Lule back in for the 10th play of the drive. Hand off to Harris inside. And Williams and company rally to the football. And that football was loose for a moment in the pileup as Harris looks for his lid.
Well, the Lions were hoping to catch the Argonauts in that all-out blitz. The blitz came, but Harris unable to pop through the other side. Argos recovered well and redirected to get to the ball carrier.
Drive has taken over 5 minutes off the clock, but here a critical point. 2nd and 8. Pressure on. Lule to the end zone. And almost intercepted. Incomplete through the hands of the safety, Matt Black.
The pressure came, and it looked like the BC Lions had it blocked up. Andrew Harris, who's done a nice job as a blocker in that backfield, steps up to take Jansen Jackson coming off the edge, but just misread his angle as Lule seemed to take an extra little step back there. Jansen coming right off that left side, sort of redirects as Harris squeezed down inside, got to the quarterback, affecting that throw.
So McCallum looks for his 3rd field goal of the night, and from 17 yards out, he's good. And that long Lion drive results in 3. So a 5-point Argonaut lead here midway through the 3rd quarter in Toronto. Our sack tally brought to you by Purolator, tackling hunger across Canada. Check, and the Argos with a pair of sacks. Adam Bighill has 1. A little surprising to see the Lions at the bottom.
Yeah, very unfamiliar territory for BC on this board. Ron Williams, who's had 23 sacks over the course of the last 2 seasons. Just 1 so far this year. None against Toronto in the last 3 years.
3 receivers short side. They take the pitch that way, and Caleros will throw downfield. Dury is open. There is a flag. Andre Dury down inside the 10-yard line. But it's coming back.
Oh, what a waste of a huge play for the Toronto Argonauts.
Holding, Toronto, number 52. 10-yard penalty, remains first down.
Left guard Wayne Smith, and it negates a 68-yard play.
Wayne Smith rotating at that left guard spot with Joe Appel. He's the puller on the play, and Karan Williams just beat him to the inside, and he probably Didn't need to hold him as Collaros redirected on his own. Lions dodge a big bullet there.
First down back at the 25. MJ Shell joins the Lions defense on this passing play. Downfield, Childs got it! John Childs has the ball on a first down. J.R. LaRose knocks him out of bounds, but at the 51 of BC, that's a 34-yard pass play.
So Zach Collaros, after that big play, called back, completely unfazed. Stands in, finds Spencer Watt on that corner.
Spencer Watt, excuse me, Dwayne. Thank you. The SFU product hangs on. So a big play on 1st and 20. Watt along with Barnes in motion. Collaros looks for Owens and overthrows him. And a late flag.
Well, Lions took a headshot here on Zach Collaros as he released the football.
Brandon Jordan was in the vicinity.
Major foul, roughing the passer. BC, 91, 15-yard penalty, first down.
It is Jordan.
Brandon Jordan arrived late just as Collaros got rid of the football. He's the man just breaking free to the inside. Watch the hands come up high to the head and neck area on Collaros. That's a flag every time.
So down to the 36. First down, Argos. 5 receivers set. Owens in motion. And then they'll shuttle him back against the green. And Curtis Steele is up in it. That's Dante Marsh, who really disrupts what could have been a big play.
Well, you think all the time about a guy playing that boundary corner position, being there strictly because of what he does in coverage, but Dante Marsh has made a name for himself with what he does in terms of physical play, and that includes the run support he provides here. Forces this play, Marsh, number 31, to the inside. It just comes right through his blocker, Childs, to make the tackle, but he slows up the play by keeping his leverage. Then ultimately, where you're usually just waiting for help in that situation, he makes the play himself.
Argos do get 8, 2nd and 2. Collaros keeps quarterback keeper. We'll have a first down inside the 25-yard line.
And we all know that Zach Collaros is in a situation here where he's just filling in for an injured Ricky Ray. So you'll see Xander Robinson get out in front with the lead block off the edge. But you wonder, with some of the things he does that are so drastically different from the plays you call for Ricky Ray, if Collaros might be making a case to have a package installed for him every week with his own unique set of plays, the way we saw Justin Gold start off in Winnipeg this season.
Opponent defense is off balance. He's carried it 7 times for 27. Pressure on. Take a shot. To the end zone. Touchdown.
What a catch.
Childs. Marcel Desjardins might be cheering this one.
Yes, no doubt the Ottawa Redblacks general manager salivating a little bit. I love the adjustment to the football and the concentration. The rookie receiver, John Childs, to go get this one over the shoulder.
First CFL touchdown for Childs, replacing the injured. Extra point is good, and it's 3 touchdown passes for Zach Collaros in his first Canadian Football League start. We continue to bring you MLS on TSN action with the MLS All-Star team taking on AS Roma in Kansas City. Live coverage gets underway 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific on TSN. 6-play, 75-yard touchdown drive engineered by Collaros. The first touchdown for John Childs. 12-point lead. Flag down as Tim Brown returns it up near midfield. There's Giles, whose mentor Rocket Ishmael directed him towards Toronto.
A guy who knows a thing or two about scoring touchdowns in this stadium.
During the return, holding, BC, number 94, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Take a look back at John Childs' first touchdown. He's the number one man in that three-receiver cluster into the boundary. Lions recognize it. Dante Marsh goes with him, and Josh Bell on the inside is going to fall off. Now Bell thinks the ball's going to be overthrown, and he's trying to get in position for an interception. Childs makes that adjustment back to the inside at the last minute to go get it. Just accelerating, using that great speed. Touchdown grab.
Rolly Lambala lines up in tight end. Over 5 minutes on the last drive, but just 3 points for Lule and company. And they get things started here with a completion to Courtney Taylor.
Well, the Lions look to move the pocket here a little bit. And those adjustments you want to make against a defensive line that's getting some pressure is to make sure your quarterback isn't always throwing from the same launch point. Travis Lule, certainly a guy who's good enough on the move to execute that effectively.
Lions had 5 of those big plays in their first meeting against the Argos, just 1 so far tonight. Second and 4. Harris has the ball. Taken down at the 31-yard line. Should be enough for a first down.
Well, Andrew Harris might have had a shot to take this one around the outside following his fullback, Rolly Lambala, but recognizing the down and distance, Harris saw an opportunity to just get upfield and get the yards, and he took that inside gap.
Down and Lule into the flat for Andrew Harris. Drilled out of bounds by Marcus Ball up at the 39-yard line.
Well, this is what Andrew Harris does so well in terms of the passing game. Very comfortable sort of getting out in a slot position and running routes. Spent his first year with the Lions working with the receivers. Travis Moore now coaching in Edmonton, one of the guys who spent a lot of time working with him on his route running.
Started with the Lions as a slot, 2nd and 3. Ball on the blitz with Harris straight ahead for a first down to the 45.
Tackle by number 39, Matt Black.
Andrew Harris starting that the touches for him are starting to add up.
16th of the game, again his season high, twice 21. So looks like likely to eclipse that tonight. 89 yards from scrimmage for Harris. 1st and 10 for Lule. Take a shot for Nick Moore. Got in behind, and he's got it. Nick Moore with a big catch, his 2nd big one of the game, and that takes it down to the Argo 25.
Nick Moore is the guy who most directly is being called upon to replace G-Roy Simon in this BC Lions offense. The league's all-time leading receiver, dealt to Saskatchewan in the offseason. The thing Moore needs to do is consistently catch the football. That had been the criticism of him in his first couple of years as he tried to break through. I'll tell you, he keeps making plays like that, and it softens the blow of G-Roy's departure.
Short catch, 89 yards, 40 on that grab, and the Lions in business at the Argo 25. He'll blitz and a handoff to Harris again, and he pushes the pile for about 4.
Well, Andrew Harris, and we've talked about the last few weeks, Chris, how his touches have been up. He's been given a significant workload, a lot of those carries. As we discussed with him yesterday, Tim Brown hasn't been in the lineup a lot this season. Brown used to play a few series at running back last year, taking some of those touches. But Harris came to camp prepared for a bigger workload this year. He's playing at a heavier weight looking to stay at around 213 throughout the season this year, where he's been maybe around 205 through his first couple of years in the league. A little more equipped to take that pounding.
2nd and 5 as it gets loud here. And Moore again with another first down. Jalil Carter in coverage. And the Lions moving it effectively here in the third quarter again.
Well, when this team settles down and plays with composure, you get an idea of what they're capable of doing offensively. Night and day from what you saw in the final possession of the first half for the BC Lions, when they seemed to get frustrated with the way the game was going, getting drawn into personal battles, taking a number of, we'll call them self-inflicted wounds in the first half of the ballgame.
First and goal from just inside the 10, the 8th play of the drive. 3-man rush underneath, and Harris dropped the ball. Took a look. And it will be 2nd and goal.
You won't see it often from Andrew Harris. He's just running a rub route coming across the formation, wide open. Coming through the traffic of the offensive line, Travis Lulay puts it exactly where it's got to be. Andrew Harris will be seeing that one in his sleep tonight.
Gets drilled by the middle linebacker, short. And again, the field goal unit comes on for BC.
In case you were wondering why Robert McCune earned the nickname Hammer, just ask Courtney Taylor, who played the role of the nail on that one.
So again, a short field goal attempt for the Lions. This from the 10 on what should be the final play of the third quarter. And through it goes for the 22nd consecutive Paul McCallum field goal. And we're through 45 minutes. Zach Caleros has built the lead for the Argos heading into the final 15 minutes. Nine-point Argo lead. We head to the fourth quarter. Huge edge in time of possession for the Lions in the third quarter. Again, the Argos add to their lead a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. You chalk it up as a win for the Toronto Argonauts defense when the BC Lions eat up all that time on the clock, and then in the end all they're able to come away with on third quarter drives as field goals. Ultimately the Argos, with Zach Caleros going to work, end up winning the quarter 7-6.
Lions had the ball for 10 minutes and 40 seconds. So that's Rich Stubler's kind of defense. Is that what Chris Jones is looking for?
Well, it's certainly not typical Chris Jones. Chris Jones is a guy who's a little more high pressure, high risk, high reward, try and make something happen at some point before you get to things like an 8 or 10 play drive. But ultimately, if you're able to escape after a drive that long when you're leading in the ball game and the other team is only chipping away 3 points at a time, you're trading 3s for 7s. I'm sure Chris Jones will take it.
Argos trying to be just the second Eastern team to win against the West in 2013.
Well, Zach Caleros, a very impressive starting debut here for the Toronto Argonauts. 3 touchdown passes on the night. He found Jason Barnes early. Hit Xander Robinson in the flat. And most recently the bomb to fellow rookie John Childs. Zach Caleros is in the groove.
Argos as a team had a completion percentage of 74.5% coming into this game. And no interceptions have been tossed this year. Ricky Ray started 12 for 12 against Saskatchewan. Was brilliant, 19 for 20 and a drop against Winnipeg. And now Caleros, 15 for 18 against the Lions defense that's usually a tough code to crack.
Caleros has looked good in doing it. Credit that coaching staff.
2nd and 6. Short drop. He pulls it down, does some dancing, and now gets a completion. Jason Barnes the catch. And again, that looks like throwback to some of those comparisons you talked about, like Jeff Garcia.
Oh, absolutely. Jeff Garcia made his name in this league as a scrambler and in similar situations. Started off his career coming in for one of the great ones, replacing an injured Doug Flutie in 1995. Zach Caleros, big shoes to fill here with Ricky Ray injured, but very impressive. Second-year Argonaut.
Excuse me, Dwayne, interesting to note that Jeff Garcia called Zach Caleros as a collegian and recommended the CFL. Chad Owens cuts it back. And Elamimian closes down on him, but Owens has a first down at the Lions 35.
A couple former buddies from the University of Hawaii. Elamimian and Owens meet up on that one, but Zach Caleros continues to impress. Showing he's not just a one-trick pony here. Chad Owens, number 2, is going to motion all the way across that formation and hit the flat. He's got the blockers. It ultimately forms up like a hitch screen, as the other receivers are just out there to lead block for the Flying Hawaiian.
16 yards for Owens. Wayne Smith, the left guard, shaken up on the play. So Joe Appel will have to come back in for the 10-year vet.
Well, we saw the impressive starting debut for Bo Levi Mitchell earlier in this week 5 for the Calgary Stampeders, and he's a guy who's surrounded by quarterbacks, a head coach John Huffnagel, offensive coordinator, and Dave Dickinson, who have played in this league. He's got veterans around him, Kevin Glenn and Drew Tate. Lots of great guys to learn from, great resources. Zach Caleros is in a similar situation here in Toronto. Obviously a great veteran in Ricky Ray, who's the starter. He's got Jason Moss, longtime CFL quarterback, as his quarterbacks and receivers coach. Obviously Scott Milanovich, the head coach, a former NFL and CFL quarterback. And offensive coordinator Marcus Brady, as well, a number of years in this league under center. All great resources, all have at one time or another been exactly where Zach Caleros is now. They understand the situation and how to put him in a position to succeed.
First down, they fake that fly sweep to Dury. Caleros is fumbles, beat away. And they make a little out of nothing on the catch by Bradwell. You know, he mentioned to us yesterday, he knows Ottawa's watching and he couldn't hide it. He said, I saw what Mike Riley did when he got a chance to showcase last year, and he's showcasing himself here.
Well, he sure is, and even Scott Milanovich joked about it. It looked like Cream Smith had him dead to rights. But Zach Caleros, he may have to patent that spin move.
Little Houdini act. Adam Bighill will have some nightmares after this game, and now Cream Smith will be thinking about that play. And a Lion down on this near sideline.
Well, Scott Milanovich joked with us yesterday that he had spoken to Marcel Desjardins in Ottawa, joking, which one of the young quarterbacks you want me to start with Ricky out? Who do you want to see this week?
Well, what's remarkable is that Trevor Harris and Caleros rated just about even on the depth chart in Toronto. J.R. LaRose has been shaken up, so we'll take a timeout and be right back to Toronto. The CFL on TSN is brought to you by GMC. We are professional grade. J.R. LaRose out of the game when Jay Shell comes in at safety, and to maintain the ratio, Jabbar Westerman, local product, in a defensive tackle. 2nd and 6. And they dump it off. And for the steal, it's down. And run through one tackle before Shell brings him down. Little animosity between these two teams.
Well, the Toronto Argonauts not backing down at all. Guys like Collaros, Curtis Steele making their first career CFL starts, but unfazed against this usually dominant BC Lions defense.
Zach Collaros has completed 8 in a row. First down. Bumping underneath to Owens. Back inside to the 13-yard line. Eric Taylor helps on the stop. Well, Bo Levi Mitchell had 376 yards and 3 touchdowns in his debut. 3 touchdown passes already for Zach Collaros in this game. High percentage night.
Yeah, 20 of 23. Doing an impressive job taking care of that football. Only a couple of throws that might have made his coach cringe a little bit.
And bouncing back from an early fumble. Here's Steele again, and this time drops it. One he should have had that'll snuff a drive.
And Curtis Steele just needed to settle down a little bit and almost wait for that ball to get to him. He outran it a little bit en route to the flat.
Had some blocking out there.
He put himself in a position where he had to sort of reach back across his body a little bit too much.
So Prefontaine comes on, missed from 41. From 20 yards out. And the veteran puts it through, and it's a 12-point Argo lead. Still over 10 minutes to go. Packing more fight than ever before at the television event of the summer returns. Shark Week begins Sunday at 8 Eastern only on Discovery. Good atmosphere at Rogers Center tonight. Home side has the lead. 12-point deficit for Travis Lule and the Lions, who've been moving the football here in the second half. Looking to finish. Lule on a roll. Pressure from Deontay Griffin. Downfield, the Moores got it. Nick Moore over 100 yards on the night.
And this is Travis Lule, just sending a little reminder that he was doing this for a little while before Zach Collaros arrived in the CFL.
Six for 109 for Moore on the evening. 15-yard pickup there. And the Lions are out to their 50. Lule drops it off for Harris. Marcus ball misses. And Harris is tossed out at the Argo bench. Robert McCune there.
This is with Andrew Harris. If he's got blocking responsibilities, you want him to check quickly and get out because he's so valuable as a receiver. So you see him check, everything's secure, get out in a hurry. Don't hang around in that backfield. Travis Lule needs this guy as part of that passing attack.
Rolly Lambala moves in for Tim Brown. Back inside for Harris. Got a hole. And a first down for Andrew Harris inside the 45-yard line. Helmet comes off again. He mentioned yesterday that he went over to Robert McCune to talk to him the first time he ever played him because the guy looked so big and he was nice until the game started, and he said McCune just started snarling at him.
Yeah, he says Robert McCune's one of those guys that the switch goes as soon as that whistle blows to get things going. Super guy.
But for some reason Harris enjoys playing against him.
Fierce competitors bring out the best in each other.
Lions on the move again. Time for Lule. And the pass is caught by Iannuzzi. Went low to grab that with Patrick Watkins in coverage.
A nice job by Marco Iannuzzi going low to go get this one. Appears to get the hands underneath, secure it against the body. Good effort. We spent a lot of time on Friday talking about that 2011 receiver class. Marco Iannuzzi, part of that string of 4 straight receivers chosen in the first round out of Harvard.
First down, BC threatening again. It's caught by Iannuzzi again and pushed out at the 23-yard line. Well, we've seen this throughout the second half. BC Lions do not have a 2-and-out in the game. They've marched the football, but they need a touchdown.
Yeah, they've dominated in terms of time of possession, collecting yardage, driving the football, moving the football. Hasn't been an issue until they've gotten to about this point on the field, where Chris Jones' double blue defense has thrown up something of a wall.
Benavides checks the scoreboard. He wants to have a look. Was Harris down or not?
Well, he may want to challenge this on the basis of forward progress being stopped, that the play should have been dead.
And Chris Jones' defense has been tonight, but not breaking.
When you talk about football teams taking personalities from their coach, you see some of the aggressiveness of Chris Jones coming out in his players, the way they go after Andrew Harris in the football. Khalif Mitchell, his former teammate, had him wrapped up on that one.
Horton rips it out, comes up to the ball, and now Curtis Steele to work. And it's still going, first down run. Adam Bighill to tackle. Shane Horton out of USC, who knocked Buck Pierce out of last week's game with a sack.
Horton, a guy who's been part of that rotation defensively. He's right on the right side of that pile-up. See that right arm pulling away at the football. Huge turnover for the Argonauts.
A guy recommended to the Argos by former Toronto Argonaut Armand Armstead, USC teammate. Calero's keeper, and he'll get down with Bighill in the neighborhood. Well, it's been a big week, week 5 for a young generation of quarterbacks. Good week for the Canadian Football League.
Well, we talk all the time about this as a quarterback-driven league. Consider you're typically throwing the ball 30 times a game. Quarterbacks running with the football. Bo Levi Mitchell, Drew Willie, Zach Caleros, Justin Gold.
It's to Owens, following the blocking, first down. And Owens to midfield. Leading receiver in the CFL moved the chains with a big first down.
Well, the Toronto Argonauts, led by their young quarterback, are just oozing confidence right now.
Fourth catch, 45 yards for Owens, 18 there to midfield.
Got the big boys, Chris Van Zyl. Out front lead blocking along with Jeff Keepick.
So over 250 yards for Claros, who had a 68-yarder negated. Here's Steele again. And Curtis Steele down to the 48-yard line, has 7. Chad Cackard out for 4 to 6 weeks. Steele beat out Gerald Riggs in training camp for the backup job. And 82 combined yards for the Memphis product, Curtis Steele, tonight.
Well, it's so important against this BC Lions defense. Chad Cackard's offensive contribution was limited the last time they played BC because they got in a hole early. They weren't able to get their running back involved. But Steele's been a big part of things here tonight, big part of their success.
2nd and 3. Steele's deep handoff, bounces it back and lost yards. Ron Williams, Solomon Elamimian. The big boys up front for the Lions come up with a clutch play.
Yeah, the Argonauts are trying to run a lead play there with Xander Robinson as the lead blocker heading through the hole. But things quickly closed up. Robinson was right out in front there, expecting Steele's going to follow him into that hole, but Eric Taylor, Karan Williams close things down. Steele ends up backing out of there, losing yards on the play.
You saw Scott Milanovich's reaction. That would have been a big 2nd and short conversion. Instead, they have to give the ball away now as they'll try and pin the Lions deep. 3-on-10, a line drive that bounces inside the 20. Got it there, sidestep Ripple, but good cover. Matt Black was down in a hurry. 35 on the punt, 3 on the return. The Lions need a touchdown when we come back. Well, next week, week 6, is a bye week for 4 teams. We'll have the Ticats and the Eskimos Friday Night Football, and the BC Lions will entertain the Blue Bombers on Monday. Looking for their 4th consecutive win here, but they've got a lot of work to do. That's Rod! Got a loose ball. Has got it. And he dropped it. And I think BC got it back. Well, that's as wild as it'll get.
Ready? Are you ready? This way.
And the battle for the football still on down there in that pile. Flags are out. Ball's not out yet. And there he is.
Travis Lulay emerges from the bottom of the pile.
Well, he fumbled it, but Travis Lulay got it back and survived that pileup.
Well, we weren't sure who was going to emerge from that. Jaleel Carter came on the halfback blitz from the backside to force that fumble. Jansen Jackson looks like he's going to score, but Nick Moore crushes him. Nick Moore lost his helmet delivering that hit.
How about the moxie of the quarterback to survive that brawl underneath?
At the end of the play, unnecessary roughness, BC number 54. Half distance to the goal. It is a Toronto recovery, first down.
Toronto recovery. Well, let's see. They rule it's Toronto football, even though Travis Lulay was at the bottom of the pile, and that challenge flag's going to come out for sure.
Well, 3 minutes left in the ball game. I might just toss that thing if I'm Mike Benavides, because Travis Lulay just told him I had it.
Almost have to challenge regardless.
Given the circumstance here. Now there's the ball out. And Lulay's got a hand on it.
He came out of the pile with the football. Somehow the officials down there see Brett Strong, the line judge, right on top of the scene, and when they unpiled, Lulay had it, but the officials say it's BC ball or Toronto ball, and the Lions challenge with 3:04.
See Travis Lulay, right arm goes out.
That's Cleon Lang for the Argonauts.
Well, and in the end, it looked like the Toronto Argonaut who was in there fighting for it in the end was David Lee, who is on top of Lulay at this point in the scrum. Cleon Lang was the initial Argonaut in with Lulay.
And from that angle, looks like Lang had a shot at it, but Lulay at the bottom of the
challenging
pile
the previous play,
seems to
indicating
still
that
have
it was
his
a
hands
forward
on
pass
it.
that started, not a fumble. It will be reviewed.
Well, that's interesting. They're challenging that Lulay's arm came forward, which I think is a less likely challenge. Now they have to review the whole play. Or will the command center follow up after the fumble if they deem it a fumble and not a pass, and look at final possession? Now, you consider that a forward motion?
Well,
would be a left-handed throw.
Yeah, a left-handed underhand forward motion. You might be able to sell it, but I think that's a bit of a reach from a BC point of view. That arm's coming forward trying to recover a ball that had already popped out. But now maybe part of what you're hoping, if you're Mike Benavides, as you said, Chris, is that the entire play will be reviewed and change their finding.
Curious to know why that was the challenge for him and not possession. Although field position's better.
I know. I've got through this with a challenge last time, and then right at the end there.
Because of the penalty, the ball would be inside the 5 one way or the other.
Again, regardless, this is a situation where, because of what the swing is, Mike Benavides had to challenge.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. First down, Toronto.
So it's Argonaut football after the Travis Lulay fumble, and it's 1st and goal, Toronto from the 1. Still surprised that they didn't challenge who came out of the pile with the ball.
Yeah, there's Travis Lulay and Cleon Lang still both clinging to the football in the bottom of the pile.
And who's on it but the Lion quarterback? I thought that was the more winnable challenge, but it's Argo football, and a punt to the goal line, and no signal. And they'll unpile, and it'll be 2nd and goal from the 1 as the two teams get the 3-minute warning in Toronto. Well, we're going to watch them unpile again. We're told that who recovers is not reviewable, but
Toronto is challenging the previous play that a touchdown was scored.
the command center does have the option of looking at the play in its entirety.
Well, and that's where Mike Benavides is challenging another aspect of the play, knowing he's not going to win that aspect of the play, but understanding that the whole play will be reviewed.
Still wants an explanation. And now the Argos are challenging that they scored a touchdown on that first quarterback sneak by Caleros. And this was the final play before the 3-minute warning, which allows the challenge, and they might have a case.
We'll watch the surge here. At that point, it looked like the ball may have very briefly broken the plane.
Take a look from over top. I think the first angle down the
see right down that
goal line. As you watch to see if the ball breaks the plane, like right there, but in the sea of humanity, it does disappear.
You can see the ball right in that area. You may not get anything conclusive in order to change this call if you're the Toronto Argonauts.
Seen some goal line stands, so although he's got 2 more shots at it, Scott Milanovic wants to get it as quickly as possible and wants them to have a look to see if it was attained on first down.
Yeah, it feels at this stage of the game it's worth taking that shot and avoid having to risk perhaps another hit or two on his quarterback in a short yardage situation.
And the Argos poised here with a number 2 quarterback of posting just the second win by an Eastern team over a Western club this season.
See the reverse angle here.
After review, the ruling on the field stands is second down.
The expected outcome prevails.
So they're still down on the 1, second down, a chance to run some more time off the clock. And the Lions defense somehow has to knock that ball loose. Hand off to Steele. Airborne for his first CFL major.
Man of steel, leaves no doubt. Good push by the offensive line to get low, get underneath that D-line, and Steele takes flight.
Well, he's been overshadowed by the quarterback replacing the injured Ricky Ray, but Curtis Steele's done a nice job taking the spot of the injured Chad Cackert.
Two young players with big shoes to fill, but delivered for the Argonauts tonight.
Fontaine has the extra point, and it's a 19-point lead for the home team. And the defending Grey Cup champions sending a little bit of a message here.
A couple of young guys looking for a little more playing time. I formation, there he goes. Up and over, nice lift from Steele on the play.
Not much question about the Argos on offense. And the defense has raised their game tonight. And Zach Caleros is going to win his first Canadian Football League start.
You've got to love the smiles on the sidelines. Ricky Ray and Chad Cackert, the two men who have been replaced tonight due to injury.
They don't look concerned about job security.
Yeah.
Jizzle, Jen, I love y'all, man.
Enjoying watching the understudies tonight.
Up at the 37-yard line. Hervé Tony on the special teams tackle, barring something miraculous.
Canadian sandwich. Hey, here we go.
The Lions will drop to third in the West. Argos with.
During the return, illegal block, BC, number 56, a 10-yard penalty, first down.
Elamimi in the illegal block. Argos with 14 points on turnovers in the game.
Well, Milt Stegall talked about it at halftime, how the defense in particular has helped set up the offense, keeping Zach Caleros out of bad situations in terms of field position and so on.
out by Cleon Lang. The rookie defensive tackle that the Argos are high on, an Edmonton native, number 9 pick in 2012. Well, they'll go back to the drawing board in BC and reassess why they couldn't finish drives here tonight.
Yeah, they've struggled at the line of scrimmage, handling pressure from the Toronto Argonaut defense. See General Manager Wally Buono in town with his team.
At those long drives that resulted in field goals in the third quarter. Remember, 10 minutes, 40 seconds of possession. Look out! Lule gets it away, but short hops it to Moore, who takes a hit from behind from Jansen Jackson.
Well, Jackson's not exactly endearing himself to this BC Lion receiving corps. He's the guy that took Sean Gore out of the game. BC a couple of weeks ago. Jackson had his sights set, head was down. He didn't see that ball bounce away and just followed through. Travis Lule got this one away just in the nick of time. It looked like the hit from Marcus Ball was just coming from the backside.
Frustrating night for Lule. Third down, offense stays out. Lule rolls, McCune downfield, complete, and a turnover on downs as Lule gets hit by McCune at the end of the play.
Robert McCune's at the top of your screen defensively, left side. Lowers the boom on Travis Lule just as he releases that football.
Well, that defense will have to take second billing tonight to Zach Caleros, but it's been a tremendous performance by Robert McCune and company.
Well, particularly when they faced some adversity and got backed up in their own end, keep the Lions out of the end zone.
Steele again, straight ahead and crashing down to the 18. Argos' next game after the bye will be in Montreal.
There's defensive coordinator Chris Jones.
This defense gave up the most yards through the first 4 weeks. Ranked 7th against the pass, 7th against the run, 8th in yardage. But tonight they have shut down a high-powered Lions attack and kept them out of the end zone.
Yep, they've shuffled some personnel. If tonight's any indication, Chris Jones seems to have found himself just the right
procedure. Toronto, no end. 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
Raised some eyebrows with the cutting of Brandon Isaac, which created a couple of shifts in that defense. Just 3 starters now from last year's Grey Cup winners on defense.
Amazing to see so much turnover, and so that face sums it up. Such a successful unit to see so much turnover and not all dictated by injury or player departure.
Steele again. Back down to the 25-yard line. So Ricky Ray likely to be back for the game against Montreal. Curtis Steele will be in the backfield with him for the next month or so. But it's apparent that if Ray's knee is not ready, the Argos will still be in pretty good shape.
Well, in a situation where things had been so tight between Zach Caleros and Trevor Harris, competing even into the regular season for that number 2 job, this performance may help Zach Caleros separate himself a little bit.
2nd and 10, Steele again. Curtis Steele, first down. He's feeling it now.
It's his time to shine right now, looking to put this thing away. The vision by Steele, nice job by the center. Jeff Keeping pulling around, getting up to the second level on that play. He's the guy who's going to slide to his right, comes around, leads Curtis Steele through that hole.
So a 1st and 10 for the Argos. Just over a minute left from the BC 11. They feed the ball to Steele again. Steele, touchdown. Ripped through the heart of a demoralized Lion defense.
Well, Curtis Steele gives you the whole package on this play. A little shake there, a little cut there. 90-degree cut there. 6 points there. Puts it away. It's winning football by the Toronto Argonauts here in the 4th quarter.
Good shit. Real good.
2 4th-quarter touchdowns for Steele. Extra point is through. As the Argonauts offense explodes here against one of the best defenses in the CFL.
All day, man. That's how it goes. We're back in action. Let's go, Argos. Crank it.
Well, the way they're rolling right now, the Toronto Argonauts may want to decline the bye week.
Could only muster 1 touchdown in their first meeting against BC, and that was in garbage time of the final minute.
Hawks, big brown fam. The whole city, man. Good for y'all.
There they are, the super subs, making their first start. Zach Collaros completing 84% of his passes, 3 touchdowns, and very importantly, no interceptions. Curtis Steele, 17 touches, over 100 yards from scrimmage. He contributes a couple of touchdowns as well. Impressive depth assembled here by General Manager Jim Barker. Tremendous game plan put together by Scott Milanovic and Marcus Brady offensively. Terrific job by Chris Jones in the defense. The Argos have delivered tonight.
Ball passes by Tim Brown, picks it up down around the 20, and he is surrounded. Zach Collaros from Steubenville, Ohio, a football town with a dominant high school team, also the home of Dean Martin and Jimmy the Greek Snyder. And I wonder what the odds would have been on them winning by 26 here tonight against the BC Lions with a backup quarterback.
Well, what's been so impressive to me is Zach Collaros has taken the things that we've seen him do in small doses, very small doses in a couple of performances over the last 2 years. He's shown he can do those things over 60 minutes against a very good defense.
Thomas DeMarco in to finish up for BC tonight. Andrew Harris, big hole. And Harris up over the 40-yard line. To improve his stats, Travis Lule held to under 200 yards on the night passing against the best Argo defensive performance of the year.
Well, we talked about it very early in this football game. The Argonaut defensive line set the tone physically on the first BC possession.
Left to Gore, who's had a quiet night. And he'll get ushered out by Marcus Ball. This will end the Lions' 6-game win streak against the Argos and that run of 16-17 since the 2004 Grey Cup. And although a lot of people didn't like Collaros' chances tonight, when we talked to him yesterday, it was a guy that was completely confident with his opportunity and was determined to make the most of it. There's Trevor Harris, the number 3 quarterback, congratulating him. Marco, inside, and Iannuzzi turned, and the ball was almost by him.
Well, DeMarco put some zip on that football. Iannuzzi unable to get his head around in time.
So the Lions will be 3-2, and the Argos 3-2. Short hops that. Incomplete to Ernest Jackson. This ending a 3-game win streak for BC. They lost their opener, beaten soundly in Calgary to open the season, but felt they were making progress with each week. 3 straight wins until this trip to Toronto. Toss to Harris. And Harris down to the 47-yard line. Probably time for one more play.
Unless that play is worth 26 points, this one's all over.
Harris over 100 in this last series, 16 carries, 108 yards, so his third 100-yard game of the year, but not much consolation for the Lions tonight.
Measurement confirms that the Argos will get to send out Zach Collaros for what we'll call the curtain call, kneel it down, and seal the victory.
Turnover on downs is the 5th turnover of the night for the Lions. Pretty happy coach on one sideline.
The previous play is under review.
Well, our command center is going to take another look with 11 seconds to go in a 26-point game.
Okay.
Gives Marcel Desjardins a little more time to go through the videotape on Zach Collaros tonight and compare it with the others he's seen this week.
Well, we've obviously talked throughout the season about Ottawa re-entering the league next season. The dispersal draft confirmed today will take place in December. One of the things that's been a huge benefit to Marcel Desjardins in terms of these backup quarterbacks is having the opportunity to see them against live bullets and really evaluate them. He's not going just on preseason film.
After review, the spot on the field was correct. It's a turnover on downs, first down Toronto.
We just reviewed that play, and in Edmonton there'll be outrage because there was not a review last week in the final minute of a game that could have been decided on the final play of the game. But it does give the Argos a chance to come out in victory formation. And they'll take one more knee, and Zach Collaros will be 1-0 as a starter in the Canadian Football League. And the debate will start on who is best suited to run an Ottawa offense next year. What a performance by Zach Collaros, and an impressive night for the Toronto Argonauts as they post a convincing 38-12 victory here at Rogers Centre, ending a Lions 6-game win streak over Toronto. So long, everybody. SportsCenter is now